And Bonds hits one high. It's a deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Stacks on Stacks Live. Joined with my guys, Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson.
Yeah.
And Swerving Irvin Washington.
Yo,
How we doing tonight, fellas?
doing good.
Good. We're keeping that 81 streak alive. Going 2-2.
Man,
That's what I like.
y'all gonna end up winning like 70 games when all is said and done.
81, and that's still going to be 40 more games than the A's are. So,
I mean, well, the A's walk-off win tonight against the Guardians, so it's a nice dub there. They moved to 2-3, not too bad, or 2-4.
2-3. You're right.
2-3. So I mean, they're on pace. They're on pace to get the over, but yeah, it's looking pretty bad. And once it was tied, I had a feeling they were gonna win. I should have fucking taken a live bet because I could have probably got some good odds. But
Yeah.
the Guardians, 3 games in a row, they used their top 3 relievers. So those, like, Klase wasn't gonna pitch tonight, and Karinchak wasn't gonna pitch tonight. So you know the options were limited, but. You know, that's baseball. That's why it's 162 games.
Yep.
And, you know, it levels itself out and sifts itself through the pretenders and whatnot when all is said and done. Before we hop into the games for tomorrow, we're going to preview 4 games. Just want to get a little bit of early reactions to what has happened in the first, you know, almost a week now at this point. Teams that you are maybe higher on than coming into the season, teams you're kind of like down on, teams you're wait and see mode on. Like, what are some teams you guys are looking at right now and kind of intrigued by?
I mean, I'll start it off. I'm intrigued by these Brewers. Granted, they haven't been playing the most difficult of opponents, but they've got a plus 21 run differential. And
Yep.
that is something that they were really struggling last year to put up points and win games, you know, a little bit bigger. So I definitely put them on the top of my list. Tampa Bay has come out really strong. And I worry about how long they can keep that up. But I mean, they're a perfect 5-0, 3-0 at home, 2-0 on the road. Just really impressed by what we see on both sides of the plate from them. And then on the negative, I'd probably put, man, I don't know, probably St. Louis at 2-3, maybe San Diego at 3-3, maybe Houston. Houston we knew was going to come out slow because of their injuries, but they're at 2-4.
Yeah.
There's a couple teams that are in the middle of the pack that I wasn't necessarily expecting.
One team that I'm very intrigued by is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, who are now 3-2, sit atop first place in the AL West. Obviously, very early last year, they were in playoff contention about 2 months through the season. Can they sustain that this year is the biggest issue. But I do think that obviously you have Shohei as a starter. Patrick Sandoval is vastly improved. Last year, he had a hell of a second half of the season, and you know he started off his first 2 starts this year, or first start this year. No, he's had 2 starts. He's been excellent this year. So I'm very intrigued with the Angels. Plus, they have a very good lineup. Very good lineup. They score a lot of runs.
Level of play, though. I mean, opening up against the A's, I know they went 2-1 on the A's, and now 1-1 for their games against Seattle. So
Well, I mean, you can only play who's on your schedule.
that's true. That's very true.
And I think that's why I'm saying I'm intrigued by it. You know what I mean?
Okay,
like,
yeah, I got you.
It's early, but they have looked good because I mean last year their issue was pitching, like they couldn't pitch.
Yeah.
And this year their pitching looks a lot better. And you're right, they did play the A's. The A's aren't very good. They did put up a lot of runs against the Indians last night. I think they scored 6 runs last night. Put up 3 against Shane Bieber tonight, who's one of the best pitchers in baseball. So, I am intrigued by the Angels, and I'm also intrigued by the Reds. I know they got fucking dog walk today, but I mean that game was a lot closer than the 12-5 final score actually said, because that was it was a tie ball game in the 8th inning, and then or 7th inning, and the Reds put up 10 runs in 2 innings. I mean that was I'm sorry, the Cubs did, but I am a little intrigued by the Reds because Nick Lodolo is nice. Hunter Green, we obviously have very high expectations for. I think Grant Ashcraft is like a very good back end of the rotation kind of starter. So I think the Reds kind of like, they can be a little sneaky good. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be one of those teams that like teams that are trying to make the playoffs don't want to face down the stretch.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be that pain in the ass team. Similar to the Orioles last year, where the Orioles like were ahead of schedule. I think that could be the Reds here this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just for something to look forward to from a betting perspective.
I got a question for you guys after Irv, we hear from you.
Well, I'm neutral. All these teams are dog shit except for my Dodgers. I'm just playing. I'm down on the 2 teams so far, the Padres and the Mariners. Two teams that I thought, I think they're still gonna be in contention, but I don't know, man. It's looking rocky because the Mariners lineup is complete dog shit right now. Outside of like 2 hitters, they clearly got the pitching, and the Padres, man, they gonna live and die on their offense because their pitching is in shambles, man. It's looking real bad. I understand Joe is hurt. He'll probably be a godsend when he get back, but that pitching staff is looking horrible, man.
I think I'm sorry, Ben. I think the Mariners and Padres, to your point, they're like reverse of each other. So like the Mariners are really dependent on their pitching staff, and the Padres are really dependent on their offense. Put those two together.
The Padres were going to be the exact team, and the exact question I was going to ask you guys about is how worried for the Padres are we right now? I mean, I know it's only, they've only played 6 games, 3-3. They're -3 in the run differential, and they blew a four run lead today. And you have Manny Machado doing stupid like timeout shit and then getting kicked.
Yeah. Well, 2 things. First of all, I think that we got to give credit to the Diamondbacks. They're a much better team than people give them credit for. But I mean, we kind of
shouldn't be beating the Padres like this though.
But I mean, the night before the Padres had to have a miracle fucking back-to-back home runs to win the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they probably should have lost that game too, for being completely honest. That's just the way baseball works sometimes. That's why there's 162 of these. But I think Irvin is completely right. Like we all talked about this in the preview show. We said like the biggest concern we all had of the Padres was their starting pitching going to be formidable enough, and could it get them through 162 games?
Yeah.
And I think we're kind of seeing that. And Yu Darvish was great today. It's just the bullpen really let them down.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the Padres. And last year too, if you don't recall, the Padres bullpen was pretty shaky to start the year, and they kind of like got better as the season progressed. I'm trying to pull up all the bullpens right now, because I feel like every team's bullpen is like dog shit right now.
And to go with your guys' point on offense, because right now they're number, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the NL in runs scored. but
They're giving up a
they're
lot of runs. Well, all
four
right. So this doesn't count
runs
today.
allowed.
This doesn't count today. This is from Fangraphs. This doesn't count today. Padres bullpen 3.45 ERA. But even worse is a 5.13 FIP. But they have an expected fielding independent of 2.62, which means they are getting some bad luck. So that is something to kind of keep in mind. So that is something that going forward we could see kind of balance itself out. But I mean, dude, you look at these teams, man. Like 15 of the 30 teams are like dog shit bullpens right now.
Yeah.
Phillies 11.3 ERA bullpen. Chicago White Sox 8.82, Rockies 6.88, Giants 6.08, Cubs 5.65. I mean, there's some bad bullpens right now.
I mean, I think a couple of these are like we knew they were going to be bad. We knew the Giants were going to be bad. We knew the Phillies were going to be bad. We knew San Diego was going to be bad. I'm really surprised that San Diego's only at what 3.42 that you said.
Yeah, and their and their xFIP is good too, like which means they're getting a lot of bad luck because you have teams that have like, for example, the Tampa Bay Rays 2.08 ERA, but they have a 5.31 xFIP.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's saying that the ERAs they're getting a lot of good luck on their ERA. So expecting some balance to come to that, some regression. But again, it's early, and but I do think that the Padres they're gonna have to address some things for sure.
Majorly, yeah.
And with their lack of assets, I just don't know how much they're going to be able to really address.
Yeah, they're going to have to take contracts on that aren't great.
Yeah,
just because they have the money.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see as we go down, as it goes on. Also, another team pretty intrigued by the Minnesota Twins.
The Twinkies,
really good. I mean, they lost 1-0 today to Sandy Alcantara. Kenta Maeda was on the mound. Looked really good, to be honest.
Yep.
But the Minnesota Twins, man, this is a pretty good team.
Yeah, but also remember they had Kansas City to start.
Well, Kansas City giving the Blue Jays the blues.
Oh yeah, but everybody gives the Blue Jays the blues. I mean, that's.
So are we worried about the Blue Jays?
Yes, I'm worried about the Blue Jays. Absolutely. I think I can definitely throw that in as one of the teams that I'm worried about right now. 2-3 overall. Big thing. They've only scored 24 runs. I mean, that's one of the worst. No, there's a couple.
They scored 10 in the first game too. So
yeah,
since that they've only scored 14 runs
in 4 games is not good. -8 run differential. I mean, they won today, but still.
Yeah, they only put up 4 runs with Bubic on the mound.
Yeah, I would not be happy with them because
they're gonna get going, dude.
They haven't had a tough schedule either.
Well, they played the Cardinals.
Yeah, I went 1 or 2 against Cardinals, but you should be winning both of the games against Kansas City. And I mean, 9-5, that's a getting rocked.
Well, but you got to keep it in mind, like the goal of every team is to win a series, not win every single game.
True, and they're have the potential to lose the series to Kansas City tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if they lose that
they already
series,
lost the series to the Cardinals.
Yeah, if you drop 2 series, that's not a good look, especially if you drop a series to a lesser team.
Yep.
Same thing for the Guardians, like the Guardians tomorrow, like can't be dropping a series to the fucking A's, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care if you play them in Oakland. I don't care if you play them in Mars, dude. Like, you can't lose that series.
So if you're taking if you're taking prop bets, you gotta expect the Guardians and the Blue Jays to come out strong.
Yeah, the problem with the Guardians is they're going against Kyle Muller, who looked really fucking good in his first start against the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Hunter Gaddis on the mound, who was all right against the Mariners, but he's young. So is Kyle Muller, to be honest. But I don't know, man. Kyle Muller looked fucking really good against the Angels, bro. He looked like a fucking ace, dude. And
Blue Jays are going up against.
That means he's getting traded.
Yeah, eventually, for sure.
Greinke tomorrow, and they've got Manoah on the hill, who did not.
Yeah, that's like a.
Did not look good.
this is a good bounce back spot for Manoah. But what's it? What are the Blue Jays right now? Like minus 170.
I think so.
And Greinke looked good his first start, to be honest.
Blue Jays are sitting at.
But I can't trust Greinke, dude. That dude's out there throwing like 86 now, bro.
Yeah, I'm good on him. It's they're minus 178.
Yeah, so I mean that's some heavy juice right there.
Yikes.
Gotta believe in Manoah in that spot though. He has to bounce back, bro.
Yeah, he's a Cy Young candidate. He got to bounce back.
Yep.
You'd hope he does.
I mean, you know, I thought Gallen was gonna bounce back today, and he didn't.
Yeah, but
He got saved by his offense.
Yeah, he got saved by his offense, but that error really hurt him too, though.
That's true. That is true. I was expecting bigger.
Once they did that error, I'm like, man, he deserved better. I cut that shit off. But then they came back, so that's how it works out.
They came back. All right, let's talk about. Oh, go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
Are we surprised at teams like the Cubs, the Phillies?
Well,
Nah, we kind of knew the Phillies was gonna start slow. I didn't expect their pitching staff to be struggling like this, but Jordan did say they was gonna regress like a motherfucker. So they won the day though, because you know the Yankees forget how to hit every other game or every couple games. But speaking of them, I think it's gonna be rough sledding for them pretty soon too. Once like they start playing the better part of their schedule because they look like shit today at the plate.
Yeah, I agree with that. They kind of got lucky playing the Giants in that first series, and to be honest, like Logan Webb was really good. It just so happened that Garrett Cole was really good on the other side. You know what I mean? So, like that was unfortunate, but you know the Giants outside of Logan Webb, their starting pitching is fucking dog shit. So, it's always
unless they're pitching against the White Sox.
Yeah, their offense hasn't been great.
Well, I mean, we knew the Giants were going to be inconsistent up and down. Like, that's kind of how they always are. They get hot, and then they get cold, and they get hot, and they get cold.
No.
They're very streaky, but, yeah, the Yankees, like, dude, and the AL East, like, that's a tough division, bro.
Yeah.
Rays look good. Orioles look good. Orioles should be 4-2 right now if it wasn't for a fucking stupid error, dude.
Yep.
Yeah,
They'd be above the Yankees.
Yeah.
And their plus minus would be what, like 5 points better?
And their offense looks hella good, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, they put up 32 runs so far.
Yeah, Gunnar and what's the name? They could keep those two around.
Yeah.
They got a bright future.
Yep. And Cedric Mullins looks good.
I don't think they're going anywhere.
Yeah, no.
Well, you know, Orioles are known to get rid of they
Yeah, they'd find some crazy package and.
Well, the problem with Manny Machado is they paid the wrong guy, dude. They paid Chris Davis, and then that didn't end up working out, and so they got rid of Manny Machado. And
they still paying Chris Davis too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But the thing with Baltimore,
like
dude, is
I think he's the 5th or 4th highest paid player this year.
Yeah, and the thing about the Orioles is that like they're quote unquote small market, but they still have like let's remember, dude, this Orioles team is like a very historic franchise.
Yeah.
Like, and their fans go to games, like they're not cheap. Like they won't be cheap if they're contending.
Yeah.
So I expect them to kind of pay these guys as they go along. And this offseason showed that it told us everything about what the executives, the front office thinks of this team, that they think so highly of these young guys coming up. They're like, yo, we're not even going to go sign any big free agents because all these guys are going to come up and they're going to ball the fuck out and then we're going to pay them. Kind of like the Braves. And then they'll probably go trade for a couple pieces to fill in. All right, let's talk about some games tomorrow. So first one we got 1:10 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're on the West Coast, like us, 10 a.m., get some breakfast and baseball. I guess 10 a.m. breakfast is pretty late, but if you eat breakfast late.
Brunch and baseball.
Yeah, brunch and baseball. There we go.
Mimosas and baseball.
We got a doozy out here in Miami, fellas. Not very often you hear a podcast talk about the Miami Marlins and preview one of their games, but We got the Minnesota Twins against Miami. This is the third game of the series. It's 1-1 right now, so this is the rubber match. Minnesota minus 115 right now against Miami minus 105. There's some books that are basically have this as a pick, so you can shop around depending on what you like. And the total is 7. Our starting pitchers, this is a great pitching matchup. We got Pablo Lopez going back to Miami to face his former team. And then we have Jesus Luzardo, who looked phenomenal in his first start against the Mets too. What's our thoughts on this game here?
I love the under. I think this is gonna be probably a 2-1 game, 3-1 game, a game like that, because these two pitchers are damn good, man. And these two offenses we know are very spotty. Well, I'll say the Twins got a better consistent lineup than the Marlins, but these two pitchers, if they pitch like we expect them to, this game could be like 1-0 going into the ninth inning.
Like it was today?
Yep.
What do you think?
See, I think I would lean more to the first 500 because, like you talked about earlier, the relief pitching has been very spotty all throughout, the major league. I mean, I know Minnesota has been, great. They're only averaging what? Oh man, I just had it up. 2.5 runs against. Hold on. 1.3 runs against over their, first 4 games. So, I think you can definitely, Irv, I really like your under push there. They've only allowed 4 runs as their most, and that was against Kansas City in one single game there. You look at the way that Miami, other than that Cueto Mall, game where it was 11-1. That's the only game that's gotten out of hand for Miami. I guess both of these teams, Miami and Minnesota, because that was game 1 in the series. But I think you can look at the under. Both these pitchers pitched great against Kansas City and the Mets. So I'd lean to first 5 under as my favorite bet.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Miami is just like, dude, they cannot figure out how to hit a baseball, dude. 83 WRC plus against right-handed pitching. That's well below league average. And like, I know this is like a short sample size, but if like this wasn't a continuance of last year, I wouldn't be saying it, because like they were the worst offensive team in baseball last year, worse than the A's, and it's continued over. Another thing that worries me is like Jazz Chisholm in center field. Like that dude can't play center field, and he's playing center field. That's a major position of concern. I do think Minnesota is the better team. Also, Jesus Luzardo, he was good last game. He has a 5.41 xFIP though, because he does walk a lot of guys. He had 6 walks in his last game. But he did have 7.94 K per 9, 6.35 walks per 9, but 100% left on base. So like he's not scared to pitch out the stretch, which is something to keep in mind. Yeah. But he's obviously not going to have a 0 ERA the whole season. Definitely going to be some regression, especially if he can consistently walks guys. Yeah. Right. I don't know though, like, because Pablo Lopez might have some nerves here, like going back to Miami, the team that trades him. Like,
see, but it could be either. He could have nerves, or he could be like, oh, fuck these guys.
He could. I mean, he's a great pitcher.
And Minnesota is hitting 24 points better against lefties than righties, and Miami hitting, ready for this one?
Yeah, Minnesota 100
points lower against righties than lefties.
Minnesota 140 WRC plus against left-handed pitching so far this year, so that's like,
yeah,
that's really fucking good.
Against righties, OBP of 295, slugging percentage of 362. Like they're just OPS of 658. They're just not seeing.
Also, Pablo Lopez throughout his career splits 2.55 ERA in the month of March, April. So first month of the season is actually his best month of the season. Something to keep in mind.
God, this is basically a pick'em.
Yeah, I like Minnesota in this game, dude.
I agree.
I
I'd
think
go first 5 under and Minnesota money line.
yeah, I think Minnesota.
I think we could go first the whole game under too. I think you're right on that one.
Yeah,
7.
agreed. Agreed with that.
He's down.
Oh, look at one other thing here.
Next game.
Hold on. I want to look at one other thing here.
Shout out to the San Jose Sharks coming down from 3-0 to tie the game.
No fucking way.
Are you serious?
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Nope, y'all tied the game. I think y'all about to go ahead too.
Oh my god. The fuck are you doing?
Bro, that's what we've been doing all year, bro. What are you talking about?
Wait, my bad. They was down 2-0. No, they was down 3-0.
Bro, what the fuck?
No, 2-1. They were down 2-0, 2-1, 3-1,
Okay.
3-2, 3-3.
3-3.
The fuck are you doing?
Yeah, man. Bedard probably going to Chicago, bro.
Oh,
Dude, they
what a fucking joke.
yeah, they do not want
Just a joke of a fucking franchise.
All right, so Pablo Lopez throws about in his career 48% fastball, 20% changeup, 23% slider.
Well, I know the Marlins suck against the slider
Yeah, they do.
because Maeda killed him today with the slider.
Let's see here. Pitch value. Pitch type value. Miami. Where are we at? Miami. Miami against the slider minus 3.6 against the changeup. They're good though, 1.5 against a cutter. They're also bad. Yeah, I still like Minnesota. Give me Minnesota. All right, let's hop into our next game. We got the Mets against the Brewers. This is another game. It's actually not a rubber match. The Brewers have won this series. They could lose tomorrow and still win the series. But they're throwing Corbin Burns on the mound against Drew Peterson. What do you guys think about this one? Right now, the Mets plus 115, Milwaukee minus 140.
Hammer the Brewers because the Mets are in shambles.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. It's like I know Corbin had a bad first game, but
He's not going to pitch like that for probably a month and a half.
Mets look bad.
Man, bad. And your boy Scherzer, the 42. Well, how much you making? 42 billion or?
Bro, I said it in the beginning of the year. I said, dude, that their top two guys are old as fuck, bro. Like, how are you gonna count on that?
Up back to back to back home runs today.
Yeah, like you can't rely on a dude that old to fucking. I'm sorry, bro.
He can't. Yeah, he can't carry your team, and they're just saying they're hoping him and Verlander carry their whole squad.
Yeah,
and I understand Bassett looked terrible his first start, but they should have kept him.
Yeah, they should.
They have no young arms coming up. They let DeGrom walk, rightfully so, because you can't depend on that dude to stay healthy. But the dudes you sign can't stay healthy either. So I don't know. Cohen better dig into that 15, 20 billion and get some arms.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say though is that Milwaukee's not good against left-handed pitching. They weren't last year. They aren't this year. Not a good team against lefties.
Yeah, batting 150, only 20 at bats against lefties, but batting 150.
But again, it's a continuation from last year too.
Yeah. Well, so do we take we know Corbin Burns isn't going to be as bad as he was game 1. Yeah, lefties, they only hit 222 last year. So do we take under 8.5 here?
I
Or
would.
sorry, 7.5 here?
I lean the under, and I also think at plus money, I think you gotta look at the Mets. I know you're going against Corbin Burns, but Burns hasn't looked good.
Yeah, but the Mets.
But it was one start.
And the Mets, how many runs have they scored the last 2 games?
0. So I mean, they're not going to score 0 again. Like they're not going to go 3 games without scoring.
Yeah, they'll score 2 tomorrow and lose like 5-2.
Yeah, and you got to think like Corbin Burns, he only allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks. I mean, that's not for 5 innings. That's not that bad. It was just those hits were jacks. But like the Mets aren't going to. The Mets can do that, but Burns is not going to be having a subpar start like that.
Yeah, but the Mets can't hit lefties, bro.
I mean, the Brewers can't hit lefties, but
the Brewers can't.
I
Neither
got
can
more
the Mets.
faith
The
in-
Mets can't hit lefties either very well.
I got more faith in the Brewers right now than I do the Mets. The Mets look terrible.
No, Mets can't hit righties. Mets are batting 151 against righties.
Damn.
Both teams are batting 150
That
against
under-
the respective
came
pitchers.
on.
I think we got to go the under, dude.
First
Yeah.
5 under, easy, and then under full game.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Both 150 and 151.
They got Cody Bellinger up there.
Jesus.
And since they've blown out the last 2 games, like the Brewers bullpen is pretty. They got a lot of guys that are ready to go. Like Devin Williams hasn't pitched in 2 days, 3 days. Matt Bush hasn't pitched in 3 days. Like they got all their good bullpen. They got all their good relievers that are ready to go. I don't know. I think I would stay away. Yeah, I honestly lean the full game under, and I would take first 5 under. It's gonna be like what 3.5 probably.
3.5, yeah. 7.5 total.
Yeah, I'd probably definitely lean that. I don't know. I still think that I like the Mets money line too. I just think plus money. I think that's
David
a good,
Peterson, 5 innings. He did allow a lot of hits. 8 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 5 Ks.
The Mariners. I mean the Brewers. Fucking all these M's. The Brewers can't hit lefties though, dog. They haven't.
Yeah.
They didn't hit lefties last year, and they can't hit lefties this year.
Yeah. New York can't hit righties, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the under 7.5 is probably the best.
So last year versus righties, yeah, they were a little bit better, but 265 compared to 246. But
If you remember last year, dude, the Mets led the league in infield singles, dude. Like,
yeah,
that's hard. That's impossible to duplicate. Not
Yeah.
hard. So there was definitely some regression due.
in the postseason, they bat 149 against righties. Yoicks.
Terrible. Yeah, so the under is probably definitely the best bet there.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to our next game. We got the Orioles against Texas in Texas. Orioles won this series too. They won the last 2. This is the 3rd game. Texas right now minus 195 with DeGrom on the mound. Baltimore plus 140. The total is at 7.5.
Is this Grayson Rodriguez's first start ever?
His debut.
Okay.
His debut.
Take the Rook.
The Rook.
DeGrom looked like trash.
Yeah, DeGrom didn't look good. The one concern about Grayson Rodriguez, he was very inconsistent during spring, which is why he didn't start the year with the big league club. And now because of Bradish's injury, he's kind of been thrusted into this start. And, we kind of seen this with another top prospect of the Orioles last year in DL Hall, who made his big league debut and got fucking shelled by a team that couldn't hit lefties. And DL Hall's a lefty. Now, Grayson Rodriguez is a righty. He is the top prospect in baseball, the number one consensus prospect in all of baseball. He's from the Dallas, Texas area. So this is basically a homecoming for him.
Give me the Orioles. Plus 156 on the money line.
Yeah,
I think that's a good bet there.
And the Rangers bats have cooled all the way down.
Yep.
But do we expect the Rangers to get swept?
They getting swept because the Orioles next up.
Yeah.
I'm riding this train all season long.
Yeah, they're the most profitable team last year.
It's true.
I don't know if they'll be the most profitable team this year because we're going to see a little bit more balance. But, yeah, I think at plus 140, I don't know. Like, we don't know what we're going to get from Grayson Rodriguez. Like, there's nothing to look at here, and we're going to be like, oh, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I think he's going to be all right, though. That you can't teach what he got.
Nah, I mean, he's got stuff, dude. He does have stuff. And
he's going up against a lineup that's cold right now. Yeah, I think I see 5-6 innings easily.
Just for our bet, we can't have DeGrom get 7 strikeouts.
yeah, we need.
He probably gets shelled again.
Yeah, I mean, he got shelled.
He got 7 strikeouts.
7 strikeouts in 3 2/3 innings. You can't have that.
Fucking bastard.
Cannot have that.
Hopefully, he gives up 4 runs in the first inning.
Fine by me. And no strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm gonna go Baltimore money line. I'm just gonna ride it for the vibes, dude.
Yeah.
What time's this game at? 11 in the morning. Let's go, baby.
It's a lot of early games tomorrow. I think only afternoon game we got tomorrow is I think it's only one.
That's Wednesday.
It's White Sox is, right?
Blue Jays and Royals. Every other game is 1:10 p.m., 12:37, and the rest of them kick off at 11. And between 10:05 and 10:40, then the rest kick off between 11:05 to 1:10. And we got one game after 4 o'clock, which is the Blue Jays and the Royals.
It's crazy.
Damn. I mean, that's Wednesday baseball.
Gotta love it. Get it out the way early so you can check them tickets early and be like, oh, I hit this, I hit that.
Yep, and then put it all on NBA and NHL.
Yes, sir. Nola versus Cole tomorrow. Nola's ERA is a 12.7.
Hold on, man, shut up. We're not going there yet.
Oh, all right, hold on.
We're going.
We're not going there at all.
Yeah, we didn't even pick that one, dude.
Oh, I was just looking at something. Don't tell a black man to shut up on the day Martin Luther King got assassinated. That's against the law.
Is that really today?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
He said that's against the law. This fucking guy.
Shut up.
All right, we got the Giants and White Sox. Logan Webb versus Dylan Cease. Giants right now plus 115. White Sox minus 140. Ben, start us off here since you're the Giants fan.
First 5 under. 3 games this week. Tomorrow, first 5 under. I mean, I think both of these guys are. I mean, I don't know if you can call Logan Webb a strikeout specialist, but his, 12 strikeouts last game was fucking beautiful. And
he did give up runs though.
He did. He gave up 4 earned runs. But I don't see the offense of Chicago putting up the runs like New York's offense did. And really, it was only 2 pitches that really fucked him up. It was the 2 home runs that really kind of bolstered Webb's earned runs to go up. So I don't really see that coming in from Chicago. Cease, hell of a pitcher. I'd go
the best pitcher.
Yeah. I'd probably go first 5 under. I'd probably go first 5 minus half a run to Chicago.
I'm going to take the White Sox money line because I just don't think the Giants are going to be able to hit Dylan Cease.
Yeah, money line minus half a run.
Although the White Sox bullpen is trash, so maybe I I know first 5 money line White Sox is gonna be like major juice, like minus 220.
Yeah.
Like anything can happen. I definitely like the under. What's the weather gonna be like there tomorrow?
Tomorrow weather 66 degrees,
Damn, it's gonna be nicer.
scattered thunderstorms and wind.
Oh,
72% humidity.
Where's the wind blowing?
20 miles an hour towards right field.
It's blowing out or in? It's out, right?
Out, yeah.
Ooh. So any fly ball to right, that shit gonna be out the park.
Yeah, this could
Fucking
go
Sharks. They lost, but
in overtime.
still got a point in overtime. Son of a bitch.
But I think the Blue Jackets might have the worst record now. Hopefully,
Oh yeah. Yep.
hopefully they don't let Bedard go to them. Sorry,
No, they better not.
Damn, dude, that makes playing the under in this a little scary.
Yeah.
Giants over home runs. That's all they can do.
Yeah, but can they make contact?
But you told me that Giants weren't going to score any more runs in this series. And then they scored 3 more in that game. But
and then how much did they score today?
None, because they didn't play.
So 0 it is. They're going to score more tomorrow, too.
Right.
All right, so, I mean, will the Giants be able to make contact with Dylan Cease? I doubt it.
Oh man, it's gonna be tough. Unless it's just the White Sox. Besides him, they cannot put pitching together, man. Kopech looked like a bust. Dude looks terrible, man.
Yep.
He can't locate his fastball, his off-speed stuff. People just don't swing at it because they know it's not gonna be in the zone. And then they just wait on that fastball and hammer that shit.
What's the relief pitching look like for Chicago?
Dog shit.
So they really need Cease to go more than 6 innings.
Definitely.
Their relief pitching hasn't been good, and then on top of that, where are they at? Trying to figure out.
Offense ain't been looking good either.
Yeah, offense does not look good at all.
So dude, a lot of their relievers have got a lot of work. Jake Diekman's got a lot of work in the last couple days. Jimmy Lambert, Jose Ruiz.
They did get the day off, though, which could help them.
Yeah. That is beneficial. So I don't think we should even look at that.
Lou Boston.
I just think the biggest thing is
better coming back.
I think the biggest thing is will the Giants be able to make contact
for more than 3 innings?
Because
Cease is a dog, man.
Logan Webb's home run to fly ball ratio 50% right now, dude. And if the wind's blowing out,
well, yeah, because it was two home runs and 4 fly balls.
Yeah, but Ben, that means if the wind's blowing out though, the ball could.
And both of them were to Judge, right?
Nah, he led sorry ass. What's the name? Hit a home run off of him. The dude they thought was the next Derek. The dude Fox was hyping up as the next Derek Jeter.
Who? Volpe?
No, the other dude. What's his name? He had that good series against the fucking Astros, and everybody thought he was gonna be the best thing since sliced bread.
Gleyber Torres?
Yeah, that dude.
Oh, that's right. Torres hit a 2-run shot, and Judge hit the solo.
Gleyber Torres actually having a nice start to the year.
Yeah, I mean, so you've got Lou Bob with 2 home runs. You've got Moncada with 2 home runs. Grandal with 1, and Zavala with 1. So whichever, I mean, really, then so you have 5 home runs there because both of the catchers have 1. So are you really gonna get something out of Moncada or Lou Bob?
Probably not. And Logan Webb's xFIP 1.42, so a lot of bad luck. Yeah, I kind of like the under in this game. When the wind's blowing like that, it's just tough to play an under because, like Irv said, dude, a fly ball, a normal fly ball could be a fucking home run.
They bat left or right.
Who?
Bob and
They're both. Luis Roberts a righty.
What about Moncada?
Basically, all of the White Sox lineup is a righty. They're all
Okay.
righties, basically.
And then
Moncada's a switch hitter.
You look at the Giants, and you've got Jock, who's a lefty, and he's been hitting them out. I mean, Tyra Estrada, okay, he's only got one. Villar, he's a righty. So there are a lot of righties, and if they pull the ball, that ball's going out at 15 right field.
Shout out to my Kings. We cannot beat the fucking.
But they're not gonna hit. They're not gonna hit it out.
When we at home.
I kind of think the over's the play, dude. I think 7.5's too low with the win like that.
Yeah, but are they gonna be? But you said it. Are they gonna hit contact with both Webb and Cease on the hill?
But after those two go out, the floodgates are going to open probably.
Yeah, but that's for 3 innings. Is that going to be enough?
Yep, we've seen one inning.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I kind of like the over, dude. Over 7.5. I'm with Irv, dude. Once those two get out of the game, and Dylan Cease isn't known to go deep in games anyways.
I mean, he went 6.1 game 1.
Perfect example. He went 6.1. That game was scheduled to go under. As soon as he went out,
boom,
runs are coming left and right.
It's true. Okay.
So I think if you're gonna play the total in this, over 7.5 full game, maybe look to the under first 5.
Yep.
But it's gonna be 3.5. That's pretty low. But I like the over in this one. All right.
Any other games that you guys like? I know we're not going to deep dive any in, but
Irv.
He
was talking about Philly.
Yeah, give me the under. Probably should. Who knows? That game probably goes over though. Should be a pitcher's duel though. Nola versus Cole should be a good pitcher's duel. But both of these teams forget how to hit, so
yeah.
Man, Aaron Nola, as long as he doesn't get 3 times through the lineup.
Yeah, getting Corey Kluber on the mound tomorrow. Take the Pirates money line. Bro is cooked.
That's true.
But even like
Pack
you talking about
his ass
that
up.
Phillies Yankees game, like that Yankees minus 155. That's not that bad.
That's not.
That's decent value there.
Yeah, pack Corey Kluber to fuck up. He walked. Dude is washed.
Yeah.
Man, Chris Sale.
Well, I think the market probably still sees Aaron Nola as like the guy he was last year. And like I just don't think he's that dude. I think he had a one-off year.
Well, shout out to the Tigers. They beat the Astros back to back. They probably get their ass murdered tomorrow though. But...
Yeah, I was just looking at that because you've got Rodriguez versus Javier on the hill. Both had a bad first game.
Yeah.
But Rodriguez's whip a lot better than Javier's. And you're looking at a line of plus 205 for Detroit. And that might be just something you sprinkle a half or a quarter unit on.
Lefty though.
Yeah.
Astros are pretty good against lefties.
Astros are banged up though.
Yeah, that's true. But even they two left-handed hitters are good against lefties too, though. So
Astros not good against lefties this year. 43 WRC plus, which is 5th worst.
Yeah, that's because they're banged up, but I don't think that's gonna continue.
They're batting they're slugging a whopping 174 against lefties.
Sheesh, that I guess Ben might be right. Sprinkle a little on Detroit money line.
Yeah, plus 204.
Yeah, that might be. Didn't they lose get to Detroit again today?
Yep. The over under is 7.5 though. Probably goes over.
Bro, there's no way they get swept by Detroit.
It was
I don't think
6-3 today, and then yesterday it was 7-6 in 11 though. That was Houston's game to win.
Mhm.
That's crazy, bro.
God, I'd fucking love for the Tigers to sweep.
A's money line against the Guardians tomorrow. Kyle Muller on the hill.
Over under is 8 in that game.
Probably lean the under. Just because the A's can't hit nobody, so they're really going to have to rely on scoring like 1 or 2 runs, and Kyle Muller's doing what he did last game.
But we didn't talk about this game, but one of my best bets is going to be the Rays -1.5. Shane McClanahan on the mound versus Patrick Corbin, probably the worst starting pitcher in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
You could pack the Nationals up early tonight. They getting their ass smoked tomorrow.
Yep.
Might as well take the first 5 minus a half a run.
That too.
Sheesh.
Either of those.
Sheesh. All right.
Let's go, y'all.
Let's get some best bets. Irv.
The games we talked about, I'm gonna do Baltimore money line,
Okay.
and I'm gonna do give me Baltimore money line and give me Brewers money line.
All right.
I'm gonna go. I know I can't parlay these because thanks Vegas, but first 5 under for Minnesota, Miami, Milwaukee and the Mets, and San Francisco, Chicago. But really, my favorite of those is New York and Milwaukee. First 5 under, both batting 150, 151 versus lefties, righties against each other. And then I will go Minnesota money line over Miami at -110. So pick them.
Yep. All right. I also like Minnesota money line. And then I'm gonna go over 7.5 SF and White Sox. That's my 2 best
Bold
bets.
move, Cotton.
It is. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna write it.
Scared money don't make money.
That's right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll be back on Sunday. We'll be recapping the week in Major League Baseball, looking ahead to the next week. Also be talking about NBA, NHL. NBA season will be wrapped up on Sunday, so we'll be looking ahead to the NBA playoffs as well. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Make sure to go to Tavour.com or download the Tavour app straight to your mobile device and use promo code TAPROOM for $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. That's craft beer delivered straight to your front door. You don't even have to leave your seat. For Swerving Every Washington, for Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson, I'm Jordan Stacks on Stacks on Stacks Flats. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.